Nice to meet you. What's your name? DoctorBenjyFM. Good to see you. Welcome back. It's AFC Thames. Run the intro. Do you know what I used to say, run the intro before every intro? And then I got out of the habit. And I'm getting back in the habit. Good to see you, viewers, then. Welcome back. January has passed, and the 18th of February is the date that you find us on. Pre-Fleetwood, pre-Harrogate Town, and your eyes have been drawn immediately. You probably saw it. Pre-intro. We are now third in the league table, but with the way the league is set right now, we have a game in hand on those two sides above us, Fleetwood and Woking. And we know then, if we win that game in hand, we will go back to the top of the table. So what perfect time to play Fleetwood than today. And form-wise, it's been, as you can see, obviously we've dipped down a little bit since we last met. Of course, we played some very, very tough games last time out and succeeded. It was the Aldershot game, right? And then the 3-3 draw against Scunthorpe. Disappointing to draw that one, and we bounced back, fortunately for us, against FC United of Manchester with a 1-0 win. Darlington were up next. That was a 3-0 victory. Before, very frustrating, I've got to say, I wanted to do well in the Builder-Based Trophy. Our cup competitions have never really gone that well. But yeah, 2-1 defeat in that one. And I felt like the form of that game then bled in a little bit to the Southport game. They absolutely destroyed us. Like, on low key, I think the kids are saying. Yeah, they battered us. 1-1 against Cheltenham. Again, now points dropped. We're worried, of course, being a top of the table side, knowing there's only that one automatic spot. It's a little bit scary. 2-0 against Dagenham Redbridge, though. Bounced back a little bit. Red cards are plenty in that one. And Scott Broom doing the business once again before defeat to Yeovil. And then back-to-back clean sheets. 1-0 wins over Newport County and Solihull Moors. Leaves us, as I say, then in third position. Now, the key thing today is to get back on track. Cabbage and Broom performing way above what they should do. I'd love to go to the transfer window section here and tell you about the new players we've brought in. We haven't. There was very little that we could have done in January, whether that be free transfers or loans. The good thing is, of course, that our finances look extraordinarily healthy right now, and going into future seasons, that gives us a nice footing to build off. So hopefully one day we can go professional, and all of this could have been a dream. Right then, folks, let's get into the first game. We know who it is. Fleetwood up first. Let's run you through the team for today's match. Now, the frustrating thing, and it's very obvious to see straight away, that we have a problem. Players are getting tired, and that comes really from not rotating the side nearly enough, or having the quality of depth to do so. In some of the games you saw more recently, I was rotating things around, and we lost and drew those games. Today then, Canon in goal, Arnold, Andrews, McBride and Turner at the back, a midfield of Ocon, Grice and Chimil in the centre. Dylan's going to be behind Broom and Cabbage as they continue to form a quite fantastic partnership. 39 goals between the pair of them so far. Oh, delicious. Into the game we go then. Again, fitness concerns, but if we get past Fleetwood, this is the game I've got to risk him in. We can maybe rotate and rest a little bit for the second game, but this is the one I say we have to win. Now, as things stand right now, as we're going to go in hard on a couple of players, we are probably set for the playoffs, which is a very comforting feeling. Of course, that while that automatic spot is available, and because of the position we're in, I've got to fight for it. So while I'm concerned about the fitness of some of these boys, we have to go for it. One man I want to keep mentioning, right? Canon is a god. He's a penalty-saving machine. He's so good. Never do this before an episode, Ben. Never big up your goalkeeper. What? Have a think, Ben. First highlight then will be the goalkeeper Allison. I don't think that's the Liverpool Allison. I don't think he's lowered himself down to the Vanarama National. As Cabbage flicks on, and as soon as you see the ball go in the air and drop down, I always think Broom is going to be on that, of course. Broom, we know how pacey he can be. As Davis bringing it forward, lays it off, and they're wearing a grey kit. Of course, last time we played Fleetwood, they were the home side wearing the red and white. This time, it's our turn as he is tipping it down. That's a shame. That's a real shame. 2.5 minutes in, they've scored probably the best goal I've conceded all season, which is fair enough. The ball's played across here. It's an unbelievable finish. Who is it? Wilson that strikes it. It's just one touch out of his foot. I was bringing up Canon. I'm not necessarily going to blame him for that one, no matter how far out it was. What a strike that is. It's 1-0 Fleetwood. I wonder against the better sides whether we should be less attacking, maybe just positive for now. You can see how tight it is. And even if we lose this game, as the way things stand, right, I think Woking are drawing their one, we will be in the mix if we win our game in hand. The season is by no means over. I wonder if Fleetwood and Woking have to play each other at the back end of the season. That could be to our advantage. Of course, one of them might win that game, so them drawing wouldn't be too bad at all, as the ball is played. Wilson is having a stormer. Gilbert, straight through the middle of our defence. Canon It's an unorthodox save with his foot, but he keeps it out as then defensively we look a little bit shambolic. Cabbage now, or Broom nearly made the run there, as the highlight is going to continue. So maybe that chance for Fleetwood wasn't the big moment of this highlight, although it felt like it probably should have been. Broom, shot goes in. It's a great block from the defender, and the highlight ends as there's now a free kick to Fleetwood, who are coming on strong here, and we are going to maybe have to change things to stay in it, right? We are right now being overrun all over the place. Cannon comes to claim, and will he look for the big ball over towards Cabbage? That's something we try an awful lot. Instead, he goes to the side of Broom, does he? It's down the centre. It's to neither. And it allows Fleetwood another opportunity to build something in the way of an attack. As McBride's header forward is very, very good, actually. Dylan's control, good too. And you're just looking at those strikers. The way Broom moves into space every single time, such a danger. He goes back, though. And again, some nice possession from us now. Grice at the base of the midfield, just making sure things continue to tick over. It's a brilliant ball from Ocon. He's got to. Cabbage makes it 1-1. Back in the game. Thames 1, Fleetwood 1. A lovely move. Really nice movement. The way we worked it round again, went through Grice again at the deeper midfield role. And Cabbage with a lovely finish. Just the way that we knock this around. It looks so simple when it's done. But the run from Cabbage here, by the way, in behind that defender, a lovely pick out from Ocon. And there's Cabbage levelling things up. Perfect. That's what we want to see. Thames 1, Fleetwood 1. Lovely stuff. It's one of those games that if you draw it, you know, things don't really change that much. But if you win it, you gain a huge advantage. Lose it, you fall way behind. It's that big right now at the top of the table. Okay, 1-1 at half time. We can be okay with that, I think. I mean, team-wise, you see that the XG is very, very good for us. Possession, we're having slightly more of. Our pass completion is better. I find at the lower league, the pass completion is everything. There's a reason I set this system up, really. If we're going to talk about that briefly, because I've never really talked through why we play this system. Why this system? Triangles everywhere, viewers. That's the key thing for me. And having an option to pass to at all times. The pass completion, I find, in this division is pretty crucial. So if you've got a lower league save, or maybe you're doing the same thing in like League 2 or League 1 right now, or you're a struggling side in the Championship even, try and keep the ball. It sounds so obvious. If you've got the ball, it means they haven't got it. So the more times you're giving it away, the more opportunities you're giving the team like Fleetwood, as we've seen on occasion, having opportunities to actually score. Again, it sounds obvious, right? Keep the ball. They can't score if you've got it. But believe me, setting a tactic up, like knowing that, right, is one thing. Setting a tactic up to make sure that you are keeping the ball, or at least giving yourself the best chance to keep the ball, is the way we're going about things as Cabbage goes close. And again, a really good move there where we were just able to keep the ball away from them. Because you remember it, right? We were playing quite, like, Z suggested it, and I thought there was some logic to that. And of course, there's multiple ways to skin a cat, as the phrase goes. But going long and pumping it forward, especially when you're a weaker side, you're just giving better teams more chances to do something with the ball. We know we're not as good as some of the top sides, but now, as you can kind of see with our possession here, we're so much better at keeping it. Arnold on the right side, ball in, Cabbage is there, cleared away, knocked down. No, are they going to just hoof this away? They do eventually, and Arnold's going to gather things again. Such a great player, Arnold. Absolutely love him. As that launched ball forward is the perfect example, right? We give the ball away, and now you invite them to attack you, and they've got better attacking players than us. It's going to be problematic as Cannon there. Never big up a goalkeeper before a game. Could do more. Fleetwood 2, Thames 1. Frustrating. There's another highlight. It starts with an Andrews back heel to McBride as the ball to Brown is lethally hit at him. And now Dylan out to the left-hand side. Turner gets towards him. What? That is... I mean, how do you predict that diving head? Whatever. Fine. Grice on it now. Goes back towards McBride, who just lifts one forward. I mean, it's not so bad when you've got really good target men. And Cabbage, for his stature, doesn't really get on the end of things like that all too often. Into Dylan now, though. Out towards Broom again. It's not great, but we're in position, hopefully, to win the ball back. As, yeah, we do eventually do so. But let me give it away again straight away. Boys, come on. Less of this now. We're not keeping it. Again, the system is how we're able to keep the ball. As soon as we break the system and we break the triangles, as it's quite obvious into this game, it all goes to pot, as that was nearly outrageous from Wilson. Again, playing on like a shorter direct passing style generally is the way we go about things, working the ball into the box. We won't pass it to spaces often. I think we're better when we're keeping it. Again, their pass completion, worse than ours. They're going to give us chances. They're going to give the ball away. We've got to keep it better once we've got it. But of course, you still want to take advantage of the pace of Broom, right? The ability of Cabbage as the ball's paid in. Cabbage has been fouled. It's a penalty kick. Well, he went down under a collision. He was pushed apparently by John Taylor. And now Cabbage, when he got us back in it originally, can he do the same thing again? Is he the real Savoy? It's David Cabbage for Thames. He is the real Savoy. 2-2 back in action, and that's what you want to see from the big man. Thames 2, Fleetwood 2. Lovely penalty as well. Well struck into the corner. God, now it's a question of do you make a change? They've got a free kick. I think Dylan's probably going to have to come off here. Maybe Boateng on as well. It's completely unmarked. Boys, oh my goodness me, it's cleared away. And maybe even a counter's on here as Broom looks towards Cabbage, who's, well, it's escaped. Cabbage now, bearing down on goal. Can he complete his hat-trick? Cabbage, he goes so close. It's cleared. I mean, it could have been a penalty in this game, but no, it was too clean a challenge this time around. We're going to make this double switch that I'm talking about, I think. Batch is going to come in for Ocon, who's on a booking, and Boateng's going to come in for Broom. Maybe that's going to be a deciding factor. As oh my god, what a save! He just picked it up like it was nothing. All right, again, another highlight. It's been highlight filled as Gilbert is looking to make his way forward. Him and Wilson, fantastic link-up play. He's in on goal. Canon stands tall and claims it. And that was quite an early, well, I was going to say, that was a very quick, brief highlight there. 10 minutes left to go for Thames. There's another free kick to Fleetwood, and they've looked dangerous from some of these. Ball's played in. I mean, we had the same thing. It's a penalty. Anthony McBride apparently has shoved him. I mean, nothing I can do about that. Flipping heck. And now it's on Cannon. I bigged you up, mate. Can you save another one? Oh, you can't. You went the right way. It's a good penalty from the Fleetwood man. Alex Gilbert's 22nd goal of the season. He's been lethal for them this year. And now with 8 minutes to go, we're going attacking. We don't really have much choice. I was going to take Dylan off, but we didn't really have a really good creative player. I'm thinking maybe Lay could come on here and we could move Batch further forward. The thing with Batch, we like to play him as sort of the deeper role, but his dribbling's not too bad. His passing's not great. That's the problem. I guess we'll do it. Again, Dylan's had a pretty poor game, as there's going to be another highlight. Wow, the highlights are plenty right now. Ball played in, cleared. As far as Grice, lays it off to Lay, of all people. Arnold whips it in. Cabbage, it's a terrible effort from the Cabbage. What are you doing, mate? Oh, he should have and could have, viewers. He should have and he could have. And the time, by the way, oh, blimey, it's just gone. As I put my head in my hands. Fleetwood 3, Thames 2. I mean, Cabbage has done everything there. You big up Cannon, he concedes 3. So disappointing. Oh, what a frustration. I'm not happy with the performance. I guess I'm not happy with the performance because of how well we've done this season. You can kind of afford to say that. But the fact that we've taken Fleetwood that far, it's not that bad, I guess, in a way. Oh, at home against them, though, we should be beating them, right? Surely. Or at least be drawing. Got away from us, that one. My fear is that it's been quite common. Every time we've lost a game, we tend to go on a little run of losing another one. So that's the big fear. Harrogate coming up, and they're a side right now that are looking to push themselves into the playoff places. They're coming off a draw with Burton Albion, a late Burton goal. Maybe frustrates them, but again, they are trying everything they can. They've got loads of games in hand as well, Harrogate. So because of that, maybe they're tired. Maybe they've got a big fixture congestion, and we can take advantage of that. But 3-2 here against Fleetwood, not to be. And on to the next one. What can you say? Premier League Bournemouth have just sacked their manager. And the article has been brought to my attention, which is, you're a Premier League side? Do you know who it was, viewers? I figured it out. Wasn't a red background, was it? What was I expecting, really? We're not on Twitch here, are we? Cabbage gets his goal bonus. It's nice to be able to give out bonuses and afford them. That's a big thing for me. All right, not as if they don't need it. We're going to rest these boys for 2 days. They're not going to miss training because of it. So if it improves the fitness going into the game against Harrogate, then, well, we'll take it. So they're not going to miss training. They literally are going to miss some training. For the one time. I forget we train on Mondays. Monday nights, if you're curious. It says there morning and afternoon. It's not morning and afternoon. They don't get the time off work. Occasionally I just get scout reports of players that I really wanted to sign, but I ultimately couldn't. So that's nice. All right, welcome back. We find ourselves in a tricky position here. I didn't really want to play, again, what is essentially a full-strength side. It's Scout and Arnold, man. We don't really have enough right-back options. Again, I looked for one. I could have signed anybody. I guess I still can, in theory. Maybe I will do after this, but we have to risk them. I don't know if the fitness and the lack of is costing us here. Turner, I guess, can step out here for Mackenzie, who is a bit more of a solid option, maybe. Again, his average rating this season has been pretty solid, so we'll bring him into the side. Peter Boateng and Broom have a really good relationship, but dropping Cabbage right now seems like the wrong move. Ocon in the centre of the pitch as well. We could bring Chris Brown back into things, but even his average rating this year has been pretty underwhelming. Siddiqui is another one that you could bring and move for Dylan. I think we've seen really good things out of Siddiqui before, so we will make that move, even though he's got a lack of sharpness, maybe a lack of good morale. Let's see how we do, though, then. Again, Brown and Cabbage give us a chance in... Broom and Cabbage. Broom, of course. Give us a chance in any game we play. So we'll stick with them. And here we go, then. Away at Harrogate. Not an easy game, this. And, yeah, again, I'm worried about the knock-on effect of losing that first one. Now, they drew late on. So they're not in a completely different situation from us. And, of course, our morale previous to that was pretty good. So I'm not overly concerned, but I'm very much aware that this game could be very, very tight as we start the game with a highlight ourselves. As what have we been talking about? I'm taking this off immediately. We're not passing into space, and we're going to lower the tempo. Keep the ball. They're in a minute in here as they try and put a ball across. McBride does it again. Again, if defenders are smart and their movement and positioning is good, they will always get there first, as that is offside. Marginally so. That was pretty close, I think. We're going to see it again as, our right back is Arnold. I don't know if that's tiredness or what creeping in, but he should be doing better there. He's completely unmarked. Boys, eyes. Use your eyes. I shouldn't have to say that to a group of... they're not professionals. They're not professionals. Fair enough. He's so unmarked. I mean, you can see who should be marking him there. It's whoever this fellow is here. Mackenzie, do more, mate. Come on. Our left back's been brought in and he's immediately given up a free chance. And you look at the league table. Oh, dearie me. We are falling away from that top spot with every goal that goes in. Again, second half of the season, there's two things that happen, right? Your players begin to get tired, especially when you play them as regularly as we do. I like to keep a settled 11. I just think it gives you the best chance to win most games. As Siddiqui brings it clear, is this going to be a chance to get back on track? The other thing is, teams begin to figure you out as Broom on that side. Referee, it's a brilliant tackle. It's got to be. It's a penalty kick. It's a great challenge. Best. It couldn't have been timed any better, viewers. Sensational tackle. Come on, Cabbage. Score the penalty. He scored in the last game. Can he do the same thing again? He can indeed. Similar position for him to fire it into. Harrogate 1, Thames 1, back in the game. We need that. And to be fair, we give away a crazy amount of them. So everyone we get, I feel no guilt. You know, it happens a lot. Like a lot. So, a lot. See, I'm tense now. You know I'm tense when I'm recording a video and I'm sitting further away from the microphone than is required because I'm nervous. The first time in a long time, I'm looking at these, say what, 60, we're 16 points clear in the playoffs right now. It's a lot of points as well. We're a few less now, one less at least. Harrogate 2, Thames 1. It's a set piece. And so far, that's what's doing us. Open play, we're not too bad. I say that we scored a penalty. So don't forget what I said there. Set pieces are great. Let me tell you that for nothing. What's annoying me most about the Harrogate kit as we win the ball back again and then launch it forward every single time. Keep the ball. Right, we're not keeping the ball well enough as Ocon now gets it. Sometimes this is fine, right? There isn't a great deal of technical ability in these sides. Playing it along down the channels to Cabbage and Broom is fine, but too often we're giving it away. Even when we're in close spaces, for the love of all that's never mind. Haynes is running it on goal. Defensively, we've got to do something. It's a brilliant tackle. So of course it's a penalty. Right, I don't want every video to be this. I really don't. Okay, he's lunged in. If he's going through the man, I'll tell you what my issue is. As Cannon's beaten, he's going through the man. I kind of understand that, but when I see it happen, if I watched it from behind the goal, for example, and I watch him take the ball, my issue isn't the match engine. I want that to be clear. Don't think this is a bad match engine. If the match engine thinks there should be a penalty, fair enough. The graphics engine should show properly a penalty, not what looks like a clean tackle that sort of jerks as if the game is making the decision on the fly, and the referee's like, yeah, I'm a bad referee, I guess I'll give it. Where it's going wrong, like to the point where I can they're devastated, I'm an idiot. I can understand, and now I'm getting cross now. I can understand the game, like, making bad decisions because the refereeing at this level isn't particularly good. The amount of times it happens in my games, whether it's going on in other games with other teams, I don't know. Obviously, the AI are making those decisions for me, and we could go through all the match reports and find out. But, like... And I love the save, and I love the story, and I've put so much into this to the point where it's not really affecting my enjoyment of what I'm watching. But Broom's going forward here, and I'm not talking about his attack. I'm talking about the problems with what I believe to be the graphics engine and the animations that are being shown to replicate what the match engine is deciding. Now, of course, there's the argument of we'll just play in 2D though. But that's not going to solve the problem. Like, that does not solve the issue. I could make an entire video on this. Again, add this to the montage, but we are increasingly frustrated with it's too regular. It's too regular for it to be refereeing mistakes. This Cabbage is offside, and I don't know if it's obvious, viewers, but it's bothering me. I don't want that to come across. I'm having a lovely time. I don't know what Andrews just did there, by the way. As Cabbage is definitely offside, and again, I also don't want this to be seen as excuses, right? I don't like it when it happens for me. Never mind against me. So it's frustrating. Very, very frustrating. They've got a free kick. I will try and move on as We're not marking from set pieces. And that's potentially my fault, but this doesn't normally happen. I guess, again, we're playing a decent side away from home, and I'm attacking here, and that's probably not optimal. In fact, away from home, after everything I've said, you should arguably play a little bit more direct. Of course, we've gone on to a more balanced approach, so upping the passing does change things a little bit. Of course, every time you change the mentality of your team, you are changing what happens to the passing every single time. So you should be aware of that. If you're trying to play one way and then it starts to break down, it could be just because you're going attacking, right? You get that little bit more desperate, as Canon claims. It's 4-1 Harrogate. Like, this is sort of flown by, really, as the ball is launched forward. And now Broom, I mean, if we're going to get back into it, we probably have to score pretty soon. And now Broom, brilliant work from him. Ball played across goal. It ain't going to cut it, is it really? And I do worry about how tired these boys are. Andrews is going to come off. I've got no centre-backs to bring on. No, he's not. That's a problem. I guess up front then, Boateng comes on again as, I guess, maybe Turner at left-back. Jack McKenzie, lack of sharpness has maybe cost us today. Look at that now. It's a four-way battle too. It maybe even more so than that. We are struggling. Even if we win our game in hand, we'll be 4 points behind Fleetwood with the way things are, and it doesn't look as if we're going to win this game now either. So it's been a very... I want to say familiar time for us, but the way the season's gone, I can't really grumble too much, all things considered. Defeat to Fleetwood's frustrating. Loss to Harrogate is annoying, but I don't know. Before pre-game, I was kind of predicting that I was a little bit worried. But there are times when we look a little bit outclassed. Again, the penalties have had a say today, which will always annoy me as Grice's ball forward. That is direct to Boateng. We know he's dribbling and is finishing. Blimey, cannon's off the post. Cabbage has about realised that it's gone towards him. And now he puts a cross into the middle. And it's saved well by Middlehurst. And it's going to go there and out for the highlight. A frustrating afternoon. We've got a throw in. Now, as long as we retain possession there. Again, it's more about performance now as... Oh dear, the performance is as bad as the scoreline right now. The team talks haven't been good. Don't get me wrong. Sorry, I've been distracted, and that's part of my frustration with the game as a whole right now, as that's flicked on by Cabbage. I mean, sort of aimlessly. I like that we're still trying with 3 minutes to go, but this is ultimately pointless, boys. So yeah, feel free to just stop. I mean, goodness me, Borges going to get that. They've just knocked it down the line, keeps it in, cannons it off the Turner, stumbles. We get it back. Ocon and Turner. Looking good on that side. Towards Cabbage. Knocked down. I'll come back when they've scored a fifth. It's been disallowed. So, every cloud. It's been a very even game. I was just looking at the stats at the end there. Hopefully they're going to show them. Like, we've committed far more fouls. And when you consider how the game was probably won on set pieces, that's a problem. The XG, very, very similar. Statistically there, the fact we've lost 4-1 is probably a bit unlucky, actually. Our XG are very, very similar. Of course, the penalty for them massively increased their XG. They've scored some goals there that are kind of surprising, I guess, but, you know, clinical. You're not going to get a game much more even than that. But again, the fouls, the set pieces, that is what's cost us. Both teams having a very similar amount of headers. The percentage of tackles won, very, very similar. Their crossing, their aerial ability has got the best of us there. And that's not something we deal with very often. So credit to them. Ultimately, sometimes the better team will just win. And on paper, I would bet Harrogate are probably better than us. And the team talks go from bad to worse. I don't want to see what the socials say. I hope they're lamenting what a bad penalty decision it was. But that's going to conclude today. If you did enjoy it, you know what to do by now. Do drop a like on it. We'll be back at 5 o'clock tomorrow for a little bit more. And the way things are going, they're requesting a team meeting. The way things are going, the playoffs are looking very, very likely. But let's not rule out that automatic spot just yet. We've got plenty of games to go. This could still happen. I'll probably come back around the Yeovil game. I suspect that might be where we come because they're a challenger to us right now in the league. So yeah, we love with care. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye. The journey continues to spice up. And to be honest, I feel at home losing. So again, every cloud, goal being disallowed. That rhymed.